Hello and welcome. I'm Paul Seabridge, Chair and CEO of MBH Corporation PLC, and I'm going to share a brief introduction to the new board at MBH and a general update. So I'm going to cover today the new board, who we are, our expertise, a summary of the changes and why those changes have been made, what this then means for MBH, and then we'll get into feedback and questions thereafter. So firstly, introduction to myself. I was inspired to get into business by my mother. She ran a small business when I was a child growing up. So by the time I was age 21, I'd started, bought and sold a business. Last year, I wrote a book, which is a bestseller on Amazon. It's called Buy, Build, Sell, and it charts my 23 years of business experience buying, building and selling companies. I'm the founder of Opulentia Capital, which is a mergers, acquisitions, private equity firm. Collectively, we have experience in over 100 transactions covering 29 industries in 11 different countries. I've been part of MBH since 2020 as a principal of Robinson's Caravans and more latterly CEO of the leisure vertical. Momia is an executive director. He's a qualified accountant. He has a background in audit, accountancy, and holding senior finance leadership roles within industry. I've worked with Mo since early 2021 when he became the CFO of the leisure vertical, and he has overseen 3 acquisitions during that time and has very strong leadership skills. Simon Martin joins us as Group CFO, again, a qualified accountant, a background in audit and accountancy, trained at KPMG. He has held various senior finance leadership roles within industry, including within SMEs. He was the head of finance in the UK for MBH during 2022, and he's worked with me as Group CFO at Opulentia Capital, where he has overseen over 15 acquisitions. Peter Lawrence is joining us as a non-executive director. Peter has a background in HR and recruitment. He's the managing director and founder of Human Capital Department. He has an MBA. He has a master's degree in human resources management, and some of his industry experience includes as a corporate advisor to ExxonMobil, and he has a strong skill set within talent management and HR, which I think will be of great benefit to MBH, of course. We also have some other directors who are joining the board from within MBH. Ian Elsey is joining as an executive director. He is the CEO of Geisha since 1997. He joined MBH with Geisha. He's a very experienced senior leader, involved heavily in the construction sector for over 30 years, and he's been actively involved in introducing technology and innovation to the construction industry. Geisha has been part of MBH since 2019, and he has previous European board member experience. Kevin Hambry, who might well be a familiar face to you because he was also on the board up until these changes were made. Well, Kevin will be rejoining the board again as an executive director. Kevin is managing director of 3Ks Engineering. He became managing director at the age of 30 years old, and outside of MBH, he's also the managing director of Dragon Engineering, who specialise in the manufacture of steelwork for the construction industry. He's highly focused on growing the engineering vertical within MBH, and again, an experienced senior leader. So what changes have been made? So a new board has been in place since the 13th of October, and this now comprises of senior leaders who are very highly experienced in growing businesses with diverse industry backgrounds and specialisms, and all have previous board experience. Callum Lang, the outgoing chair, and Victoria Sylvester, outgoing CEO, are still active in MBH, very much so in terms of facilitating a smooth handover, and they remain MBH shareholders and strong supporters of the group. We've also sold the education vertical and one of the health businesses in the UK. And the decision to do that was really born out of, we are moving towards more of a traditional private equity model of buying and growing businesses. And the education vertical is very, very much funded by government contracts, and the government contracts really don't like the private equity model, and we've seen some of those businesses actually lose their contracts. So actually think that this will be a good thing for MBH moving forward, and also I believe for the education vertical actually outside of MBH. So what's our strategy? Well, our previous strategy has been to buy and attract good businesses, long established, profitable businesses in an EPS accretive way. I think We will absolutely be continuing that. We want to acquire well-run, profitable, established businesses, but very much focusing on the sectors that we are operating within today, rather than considering new sectors. That's not to say that we wouldn't change that in the future, but I think we need to create more focus around the businesses and the sectors that we're in right now. I think we'll also be bringing a lot more accountability, governance, management and leadership to the existing businesses. I see ourselves very much as a facilitator. So we bring the tools, the resources, the expertise, not just of our own individual selves, but also of the organizations that we've mentioned, to really help the existing businesses and any new ones that we acquire to grow organically. So my first 90 days as CEO and chair will really be to define that strategy and then come up with a plan for executing it. So as I say, strategy stays the same, but very much executed differently. It will be focused on long-term growth of the group, every business that is within MBH to grow organically and to attract and acquire well-run, profitable businesses, but from a tactical and strategic point of view. So really focusing on the sectors that we're already within. We're going to undertake a strategic review of all of the existing businesses, and we'll obviously then take recommendations from that to hone that strategy a little bit further. One of the immediate changes that we've made to create more accountability and leadership within the business is to have a lead within each of the verticals. So a managing director and finance director structure for each vertical business line. And this is to really focus those specific industries on how they can grow their business and be held accountable for that. MBH still remains that platform for growth, and very much we want to return value to shareholders. So I have had meetings and conversations with many of our investors, and if you're one of our investors that I haven't been able to communicate with thus far and you would like to have a dialogue, then there is at the end of this presentation contact information for you to be able to do that. But I just wanted to share some feedback that we've had from those conversations that we've had thus far. And I think there are certainly immediate things that we can do to improve how we communicate and when we communicate to our investor supporters. I think there has been in the past announcements made sometimes where maybe there is questions over why those changes have happened or why that particular announcement has been made. And I think that any announcements moving forward will be communicated directly with our investor community. So clearly we have to be bound by stock exchange rules around announcing fundamental things, which will continue to happen in the way that it's done. But we will certainly be jumping on video calls, webinars with our investor community to communicate further around any developments that happen within MBH moving forward. And I think also what's been brought into question is maybe the deal structures of the past in terms of sort of using shares, bonds, etc., perhaps needs to be relooked at. And one of the things that we will be looking at before the year's out is what is our acquisition strategy moving forward? What types of businesses do we want to buy? Why do we want to buy them? And how are we going to structure the deals in a way that creates long-term value for our shareholders? So in summary, we have a highly experienced, motivated senior team and board. We're here to buy and build and create long-term shareholder value. So thank you for listening. I'd be very keen to hear from you. Any feedback that you have, you can email info@mbhcorporation.com.
Find out more today at mbhcorporation.com.